And good afternoon, everybody. It's a major week, a big week like we've seen never before. Day after day, data after data. It's a huge week. We're going to look at what has come in already in the first few hours of this new week and what we should expect as well with unemployment continuing to surge. The latest details on that and how high it's likely to go, plus the raise of your benefits. Huge news on that front. We'll be going over the latest details you need to know. And then those huge forced stimulus checks. That's why you have to become a member. Did you become a member? Do that opening credits, go right in this video and get these incredible checks. Approximately $100,000. We'll go over everything you need to know, plus the latest details on the housing market, why the housing data continues to falter. We're going to go over all this money in today's recording, plus the latest on the LA newsletter and the launch of this channel into 2 new channels. Become a member, go right in this video, subscribe, then join this channel and stay over this 1-hour broadcast. We got a lot of major breaking news and a lot of money to go over. The story we're going to lead with, of course, is this major week. We first teased this over the weekend. The biggest week of the entire summer, day after day, hour after hour. Let's go over the latest details right now on this big afternoon broadcast. It's a week that is just shocking. We have corporate earnings. We have the FOMC from the Federal Reserve. We have the latest details on the Build Back Better Act. Plus, we have the shocking numbers expected from labor on Thursday with the GDP or recession announcement and the new jobless claims. Are you done there yet? That's a lot. That's just a lot. Then we have the housing data. Then we have the PCIe at the end of the week. A lot of inflation data. Everything is here. Everything is here except the bacon. The bacon's still missing. Today, we have earnings coming in from Newmont, Goldman, and Squarespace, Whirlpool, and F5. But tomorrow's the big day. It starts. Tomorrow, the parent company of Google, Alphabet, reports corporate earnings along with McDonald's, General Motors, everything from Chipotle to Microsoft. And then at 9 a.m., we have a series of housing data release. The housing data comes at 9 and 10 with new home sales and existing home sales as well. Consumer confidence at 10 a.m. That's all on Tuesday. Wednesday is a shocker with Cheesecake Factory and Ford and Kraft Heinz reporting corporate earnings, and then pending home sales at 10 a.m. But later on Wednesday afternoon, it's the big news. It's the big news. The Federal Reserve announces its July FOMC interest rate spike. It's likely to be 75 basis point instead of 100 basis point. Jay Powell does that announcement at 2 p.m., or at least the statement's released. Then he addresses news at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is all Eastern Standard Time. Thursday is the day in which you want to have a hard hat. Do you have a hard hat if you don't take a bowl from the kitchen and put it over your head? I know some people in Congress use that to cut their hair. Did I say that? I did say that. Some people in Congress put that bowl over their head to cut their hair. But for Thursday, you need to do this because this is when they're likely to announce there's a recession. Now, let me tell you something that's going on in the last few hours. This is really shocking. The Atlanta Fed GDP Now released data 2 weeks ago at the end of June, that's the second quarter of this year, saying that this economy posted a second quarter of negative GDP growth, and hence we're in recession. But there's some analysts, I don't know where they're getting their data from, I really don't, I didn't ask them. Maybe they had a bowl over their head. If their haircut doesn't look good, do you believe their analysis? I don't think you do. But there's some analysts who say they're expecting the Thursday announcement from Department of Labor about GDP to be a positive number. A positive number. This is a shocker. That would mean we're not in recession. Remember, you have to have 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. They think the Atlanta Fed got it wrong. Now, let's make this very clear. The Atlanta Fed GDP Now has been accurate in its entire history, 20-plus year history. It's never gotten it wrong. And therefore, somewhere they think that the number is going to be a positive number, which would mean it's not a recession. Folks, you gotta watch this channel the next few, and that's just through Thursday morning. Yeah, you see why this is the biggest week that ever was. We're going to go over more about what's going to happen this week. This, my friends, is why you have to get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. You got to get this forced stimulus check in every U.S. state to get that financial freedom, because guess what? It's a week like no other, and you can't wait for the announcement of a recession. Go around this video, join the channel, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, and get these incredible checks in every U.S. state. You qualify. We're going to go over all these incredible checks. What do? You go right on this video video right now, join the channel. Say the second half, we're going to go over all these incredible checks that pay you about $100,000. They're federal stimulus. They're not from your state. Let's go back into this week that is just a shocker. That is Thursday. Now, let me make very clear to you what I've been saying all last weekend. And thank you for tuning in on Saturday and Sunday. It was our most watched Saturday and Sunday in many, many months. I told you there's a lot of news happening on this channel. This last Saturday and Sunday, what did I say about Thursday? I said that basically, if they at the Department of Labor announced Thursday morning 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, then by Thursday afternoon, your local mom and pop radio station that has a frequency of like -2, that has 4 farmers and 1 cow listening in, will say we're in a recession. Everyone will understand we're in a recession by Thursday afternoon, and guess where they'll be? They'll be right here. They'll be right here trying to get stimulus, because then they're going to be freaking out. They'll be freaking out. What's also coming in Thursday morning, you know what it is. You've been with this channel for a while. I've been covering it every single day since this channel launched on March 25th, 2020. It is the unemployment numbers. What am I projecting for that one? I'm projecting 260. I'm projecting 260. Last week it was 259, 251. It was 180 less than 5 weeks ago, went to 200, 230. I projected 230 for several weeks, and then it went to 251. Folks, this is a shocker. In this new week, we're also going to see a lot of data on inflation. That data on inflation is coming left and right. Let me go over more about what we see this week, because, boy, it is a biggie. Personal income expenditure, PCIe, on Friday at 8:30 a.m. You know that number. We featured this last month. Why was that number so helpful? That is usually the Federal Reserve's indicator for inflation until maybe about June of this year. And this is a very reliable indicator, because guess what? It comes between the CPI numbers, which are once a month. This comes between them. And it's a precursor, a predecessor, a preview of the CPI. And last month, it was right on the money. It was correct. It showed you that inflation had not gone down. And then when the CPI came in, it had not gone down as well. That is on Friday at 8:30 a.m. with the Chicago PMI later that day. This is an important number to watch. Why? Because your benefits are going up. How much? Well, we want to watch that Friday number. Let's go over first what's at issue, then we'll go over the background, and then we'll go over the calculation. Your benefits are going up based upon a series of 3 months of data, and who is this you? If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans, about $5,000 more per year. It's huge. It's a lifetime. We're going to go over that data in just a second. But it starts with understanding where this came from. It came from this runaway inflation. Let's take it back. Let's understand the background. The background was 2 weeks ago when 3 numbers were released in 3 days. On Wednesday, the CPI was a beat. On Thursday, the PPI was a beat. On Friday, the retail sales was a beat. If these numbers continue to go higher, your benefits go higher. What happened? First, on Wednesday, the number for the June inflation, CPI, shocked the markets. It was July 13th, 2022, and that CPI for the month of May was 8.6. Released that day, we got June number. What was it? My goodness, 9.1%, out of control. When Wall Street is expecting an 8.8% raise, it was out of control. The great news is your benefits going up. The Dow is looking for an 8.8 print. This is the highest CPI since 1981. You know, it would have been a year ago that most Americans would not even know what the CPI is, let alone have ever heard of it. Most Americans now know what the CPI is because it's the most famous now of the benchmarks for inflation. That's why you should know it. The number that was released the day after, July 14th, is lesser known. It's the sister or brother to the CPI. The PPI. The CPI is for consumer products, what you buy in the stores. PPI is what the wholesaler is buying. And that number rose out of control that July 14th. It was a June number. And that June number rose to 11.3% year to date, near the all-time record posted in March of this year at 11.6%. It's out of control. It is out of control. It means that the products that the wholesaler is buying are going up as well. Then on Friday, the retail sales number was released, July 15th. And this number was higher as well, as a major beat as well. 1% for the month of June compared to the estimate of 9.9%. Retail sales is referring to an individual product you're buying. So the product went more up in value. It does not mean you're buying more products. It means that same product you bought went higher. And there you go. 3 numbers, 3 days, 3 major lifts for inflation indicated inflation has not peaked. This week, we're going to see a lot of data, not specifically on point about inflation until Friday's PCIe. That will give us guidance if inflation has not peaked. For your purposes, if you're on benefits, you should be doing a pair dance right now. Why? Because your benefits are going up a lot. Let's go over the analysis of that and the calculations starting right now. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, your benefits are going up a lot, about $5,000 more per year. Why is this? Because inflation has not peaked. This is you. SSA, SSI, SSDI, VARB, all the benefits, all across the board. It's because inflation has not peaked. It's dependent upon 3 numbers, a July, an August, and a September number. All right, now that we understand what's going on with inflation, now we understand a preview of what's going on with your benefits, let's do the calculation. The calculation is the following. Your benefits are tied to a benchmark. That benchmark is called COLA, C-O-L-A. It's determined by another number. The COLA is determined by the PCI, the CPI-W. Sorry there. The CPI-W for 3 months, the month of July, August, and September. Yes, the CPI-W is a subsection of the CPI. So what you and I need to see is whether the CPI-W for the month of July, which we're right now, released in August, the one for August released in September, and the one for September released in October are the same or going higher. If they are, folks, get ready to do a pair dance. Get ready to celebrate, because this will be the biggest lift of your benefits of your lifetime. Once your benefits go up, they never go down. You're never going to see inflation at this level again, and it's locking in this incredible inflation. Now, let's go over everything you need to know about how this works. First, is it automatic? It is automatic. More money right in the mailbox or direct deposit to you. You don't have to do anything. Who? You. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, all of you. Multiple benefits? Yes. $5,000 for everyone? No. It depends on the amount of money you currently have. Some people get more than $5,000, some will get less than $5,000. Same percentage lift for everyone? Absolutely. That's the law. So everyone will get the same percentage lift automatic to you. Just incredible. The real success story you've always wanted on this channel. We said it was going to happen. It's happening. Now, let's turn back to why it's so important to get those four stimulus checks. It's important to get those four stimulus checks because the Thursday announcement potentially of a recession is going to cause millions of Americans to start looking for stimulus in massive quantities because they're going to be freaking out. They're also going to see the Thursday unemployment numbers, and those Thursday unemployment numbers are going to go higher than expected. What are we also seeing this week across the board? We're going to see the earnings recession at issue. What is earnings recession? Recession, while we understand what it's defined as, appears in certain ways. It appears in the labor market with the new jobless claims. It's going higher, so we already see that recession. Why is it there? Because as businesses make less money, they lay people off. That's a simple equation. We also see in the corporate earnings, as companies miss on their earnings reports being released this week, last week, and next week, then they're admitting the impact of the recession on them. Top and bottom. Top is revenue, bottom is net income. Beat means it came in higher than Wall Street expected, better than Wall Street expected. Miss means it did not deliver across the board. So a top beat means a beat on revenue. A bottom beat means a beat on net income. Minutes ago, we had some data coming in. We had Newmont Mining stock down 3% in the pre-market trade, 3.3%, after it missed on the bottom. There we go. We don't have yet the data on the revenue. Squarespace reported minutes ago it's down 14.4% in pre-market trading after it's projecting a downward guidance on revenue on the top. It reported higher than expected. It reported a beat on the bottom, but a miss on the top. Philips, which of course is an electronics company, fell 10.4% in pre-market trading after it was a fell missed on the top. Public storage was slightly up, but perhaps the more interesting story is a Tesla, which is rising 1.3% pre-market trading based upon its guidance on its crypto positions. Meantime, Ryanair, which you know is an airline, not so much in the United States, more overseas, down 6% after it beat on the bottom really fascinating across the board. And then Uber admitted a problem with some of its earnings. Now, a new report out released minutes ago says that people are spending on their credit card more than we've ever seen of a long time. Credit card balances have jumped $71 billion year to year. Excuse me? You heard me right. People are spending $71 billion more on credit card debt than the year before. They're not watching this channel because that's one of the things I teach you on this channel. You want to remove credit card debt right now because the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates. We know that's happening. And this is as people are traveling. Apparently, they're running up the credit card debt. On Thursday, we have the announcement from Jay Powell. It will be a 3/4 basis point increase at that July FOMC meeting. Most analysts and myself believe. There's always the possibility to be 100, but I don't think that's happening. The official announcement is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by Powell's comments at 2:30. When he raises those interest rates, your money is going to cost more money. Your debt is going to cost more money. That's why you can't be carrying debt. That's why you got to get these forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Finally, let's go back to something that I think is going to very, very manifest itself in this economy, certainly by Thursday. Thursday, more people are going to claim unemployment. Last week, they claimed unemployment for the largest number we've seen since November 2021, when 251,000 to 260,000 new unemployed people asked for unemployment assistance. They're going to see that check and they say, what the world is this small thing? They're going to look at it and say, what is this thing? There must be a mistake. I was on unemployment 2020. I got, $800 a week, $900 a week. What is this tiny little check I have? They don't know that the unemployment stimulus of 2020 is no longer here. So they're likely to see $60, $80, 90 checks, not $700, $800 checks per week. They are going to panic like you cannot imagine. Why? FPUC is gone. That $600 a week boost that went on top of your existing benefits. They could run out of weeks of benefits. PEUC, those extra weeks of benefits, gone. If they're an independent contractor, there's nothing for them. PUA is gone. That's why they're all going to be stimulus stampeding here, especially when they hear there's a recession underway. That's why you have to get this forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. In the second half of this video, we're going to go over these incredible checks. Go right in this video and become a member. Let's go over a preview of these incredible checks starting right now. These incredible checks are huge, and you deserve them. Become a member right in this video. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino, VIP. These incredible checks became a law in the month of March, and they've been a law ever since. You deserve this money. You want to get this money, and you don't want to wait to get this money at any time. These incredible sums of money are so important for you because there's a stimulus stampede about to erupt, certainly this week. Let's go over the equation of these checks. First, their executive order, federal stimulus checks. Forced stimulus check became law by the President of the United States, federal law for federal stimulus in the month of March. About $100,000 a check. Single individual, $75,000 or less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, go get it. And if you rent, if you have children, if you don't have children, if you're on benefits, SSI and SSDI, go get it. Became executive action in the month of March. It's huge, and this is the biggest payout we've ever seen of a generation. A series of checks, $100,000. You qualify. You're going to be shown how to get them in the second half. Join the hundreds that join this channel daily to become a member of LALATE, the #3 most watched financial news channel in America, streaming on this platform. Now expanding to 2 new channels, a relaunch of its website, and now a 24/7 live feed. Go right in this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Get these incredible checks in the second half with me. One of the benefits of becoming a member is that incredible LALATE worksheets. Let's go over the latest details and the updates on the worksheets starting right now. The LATE worksheets are a PDF at the third line of the newsletter. Down below the introductory remarks about gasoline, wheat, corn prices today is a link to open this. It's about 8 pages long. It's a PDF. And it keeps you abreast of where your money is, where it's going, and how to get more money. Page 1 is inflation. What do we know today about inflation? Has not peaked. It has not peaked. And if inflation continues to go up, your benefits are going up a lot. We have another page about the benefits coming up in a second. We have a lot of data coming out this week for inflation, and we'll be looking at that data. For example, on Tuesday with the home sales and the home prices, that's implications across the board. We'll go over more about what we learned about homes in just a second. And then on in recession, the next line, what do we know about recession? We're looking at those earnings recessions. We already saw some of those earnings recessions. Tomorrow we have McDonald's, General Motors, Albertsons, Kimberly-Clark. We're going to see if this recession is really impacting these corporate earnings. Labor, Thursday, 2 items. Negative GDP growth or positive? We'll see if it's negative. Number 2, new jobless claims expected to go 260 is my projection from 251 the week before. And the fourth line is the Federal Reserve. The Wednesday 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then 2:30 announcement from Jay Powell. The Federal Reserve's FOMC meeting announcement. It's going to be 75 basis point or 100. I think it's 75. They don't meet in August, remember. The next page is an incredible worksheet. Brings us a huge, great news update. Actually, two. First, the new one in the last few hours. Hopefully I pronounced his name right. One of the viewers, Speedy, I think I'm butchering that. I'm sorry. Sent me a beautiful message overnight. He got, oh boy, I'm forgetting. Oh, he got check A. He got check A, and then he got some check C's. And he wanted to make sure you knew it. I love that. I adore that. He wants to be your motivator, and he's very, very motivating. And I motivated him overnight. I said, go get some more check C's as well. We also have this second page of the PDF. Here it is, this incredible table that's making the game-changing life changes for people across the board. It's a table to keep track of your 4 stimulus and what happened last Thursday. One viewer who was keeping track of her check A, B, and C applications on page 2 had not looked at the page. I mean, if you take notes, you don't look at the notes, you're going to forget them. That's what happened. She got an email Thursday morning. It said, welcome, ma'am. You're in Florida. Welcome. You have been approved for check B. Really? Now, let's make this very clear. It's not check B, it's checks B. Yes, she applied for mortgage and her utilities, and she got them all paid. First, for her mortgage, she got 18 months of her mortgage paid. Folks, this is astronomical. It's not a rarity. It's a regular occurrence. 18 months of her mortgage. That is not $10,000. That's a lot more money than that. This is tens of thousands of dollars. Congratulations to her. But she also got her utilities paid. Lots of them. Several utilities per month for 18 months. Folks, this is an astronomical sum of money. This is why you want to become a member of this channel. This is why people are winning. Now, what was her message for me to her? Thank you for that inspiration. I'm going to share it with other viewers. And also, go get some more money. That's what I told her. Here's what you need to know. For example, let's say you were her. Let's say you had just gotten for check B, as she did, her water bill paid for July forward. My message would be get that water bill paid from January to June of this year. You can do it. Go into Check C in the membership newsletter. The next page of the worksheets is, of course, the importance of your benefits. We're watching that inflationary numbers. We're going to see that PCIe on Friday. And inflation is not peak, then your benefits going up. There's a page for you to keep track of how much more your benefits go up. Remember, once they go up, they never go down. It's lifetime. The page after that is gasoline. Gasoline is really fascinating. Let me tell you what's going on with gasoline. Gasoline is important because if gas goes up, inflation goes up. If inflation goes up, then your benefits go up. Is gasoline going to go up? Yes. When? In a little bit of time. Because what's going on right now, according to the oil traders, is they're trading down the price of gasoline in the United States based upon their guesstimates about what recession will do to demand for oil. The White House, did you see that? Yeah, let's do that again. The White House lately, I don't know what's going on. Fake fact, fake facts, fake facts. It's just like, can we stop with the fake facts? It's just ridiculous. The Transportation Secretary appeared on broadcast media on Thursday saying the reason why the price of gasoline in the United States has gone down is because of the White House's policies. It's not true. The people who are trading the gasoline down say it's not true. They're traded down based upon the belief that if there's a recession, you drive your car less, you'll buy less gasoline. The White House has no policies. 1 million barrels of bought per day, released per day for the U.S. strategic reserves. It's not a policy. It doesn't work. And that's not why gasoline has gone down. Here's what you need to know, is that once the traders are done with this sort of volatile trading period, gasoline's going to go back up. So if you need to take a trip, take it right now. Then let's go to the last page. Student loan debt forgiveness. The president's going to forgive about $10,000 of student loan debt forgiveness for individuals who became disabled after graduation, for individuals who have $150,000 or less, and that will be part of the equation. It'll come by executive action in the next few days or weeks. He's drawing it out. I don't know particularly why. And the President of the United States has already forgiven debt for individuals who became disabled, went to work in the nonprofit or public sector, or individuals who were defrauded by the universities. And there you go. That is the wonderful, wonderful LALATE newsletter and its worksheets. Have you become a member? Make sure you do. Go right in this video and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. In the second half of this video, we're going to go over each of these wonderful checks one at a time. Plus, I'll give you my commentary about commentary that was delivered by the White House's Janet Yellen minutes ago about recession. Fascinating. In the second half of this video, plus we'll be going over each of these checks one at a time. We'll be going over the latest details on the Build Back Better Act, and we'll be looking back at what's coming up this week with that earnings recession and the latest changes on the housing data. It's a big second half, and we're just getting started. Make sure you become a member during the commercial break. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. As Americans Most Will Love show at the midday, Afternoons LA continues from the shores of Santa Monica. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then Afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the biggest week that there was continues right now on Afternoons LALATE. It's a huge week, and you can't miss anything happening this week. And we're going to go over more about what's happening on the housing starts and the housing data in just a second in this big second half. But first, we're going to turn to those incredible checks you deserve, and we're going to get them one after time, one at a time. All one of those checks, huge sums of money. We're going to go over them starting right now. Did you become a member during the commercial break? I hope you did. Go right in this video and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Get these incredible checks. You deserve them. Huge sums of money. Approximately $100,000. And with that, let's get to the breaking news starting right now. The president in the month of March did a series of executive actions of great checks. These were huge. At the same time, the viewership of the channel was saying, LALATE, find us some checks. The Build Back Better Act has not gotten done. Can you find us some checks? I did. Series of executive actions for Joseph Biden. And those checks are huge, about $100,000. I care about you, and there's two focuses. One, make sure I find big checks, massive sums of money. I want to make sure you survive this financial economy. I want you to make sure you survive this recession and the financial cliff as well. Number two, broad eligibility. I want to make sure you qualify. So these are huge checks, about $100,000 over a series of checks. I give a lettering system starting with the letter A. Number two, broad eligibility. Single individual, 75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, 150,000 less, go get it. If you rent, if you own, if you're on benefits, not on benefits, with children or not children, get these incredible checks. And how do you get them? Let's go over each of these incredible checks right now. And we have two new additions to these checks coming up in just a second. First check is a Check A, a $6,500 to $12,000 forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. It's absolutely incredible. Single individual, 75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, 150,000 less, go get it. If you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or railroad benefits, go get it as well. Here it is, that beautiful $6,500 to $12,000 Check A. How do you get it? Step one, go under this video and become a member. Join the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America, broadcast and streaming. It's LALATE. Become a member by joining under the channel where it says join the channel. Then get that incredible membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. Don't forget to subscribe as well. And when you go down that membership newsletter, you find Check A. There it is. Click the link. It sends you into the nationwide website. Choose your state and pounce for that weatherizing grant check. That's what Sputy got as well. Then you're going to get that incredible Check B as well. That's what the other viewer got. And she did so well. That's the one where she got 18 months of checks. Checks B is $15,000 to $80,000. I guess for some people it's a lot more than $80,000, maybe. But we had seen it tracking at $66,000 to $80,000. Maybe the numbers are going higher at this point. It's a forced stimulus check. It's single individual, 75,000 less. Go get it. Married couple, 150,000 less. Go get it. How do you get it? Step one, go into this video and become a member. Become a member of LALATE. You want to be part of this channel to get that incredible membership newsletter Monday through Friday via the alerts for members. Go right down to you find Check B, click the link, it sends you into the nationwide website, choose your state, and you pounce. And look how we've done that. Wow, that was fast. Check A is about 12,000, Check B is about 80,000. That's 100,000 right there. But we're not done there yet. We're going to go get Check C. It's incredible. It's averaging about 45,000. Many viewers have gotten over 150,000, and lots have gotten $2,000 a month over 12 months and MSC. It's third stimulus. It's rent, utilities, mortgages, and more. How do you get it? Step one, subscribe. Step two, join this channel and become a member. Step three, go down the membership newsletter. You find Check C. It'll tell you who to call, what to ask, and what to say. This channel, since its launch of March 25th, 2020, has gotten viewers over $50 million. And a lot of those checks have been Check C. Those incredible Check C success stories continue to come on in, day out. But let's look at some of them over this duration. From Nisi, Richard, Nancy, Mark, and Elizabeth. Do you want $30,000 for rent? Go get Check C's. From Angela, Mark, and Nancy. Do you want to get utilities? Go get some Check C's. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000. And snap, over 10 years, that same brother-in-law is getting $250,000 because he watched LALATE. Combination of checks. Nisi, Margaret, Nancy. Well, Nisi went from $23,000 to $50,000. Mark went from $32,000 to $166,000. Let's look what happened. Here's Mark. He went to 50, then to 100, then 166. And Lorraine, she went from 105 to 155. It was funny yesterday. At this point of the video, I always say there's a couple things common with Nisi, Margaret, Lorraine, and Johnny is in there all in the live chats. And as I said that, I looked in the live chat, and there was Lorraine. There it is. This is why these people are doing it. This is why these people get the money. They watch all the videos. You gotta watch all the videos. If this was last Saturday, when I first had the news for you that Thursday is the announcement of the Department of Labor's negative GDP growth, we presume, and the announcement of recession, we presume, then at that point I said, hey, if you didn't watch that Saturday broadcast, you're not going to know that Thursday is a war zone of news and you need to be prepared for it. That's what Lorraine, Johnny, Margaret, and Nisi do every single day. They're in all the live chats. You got to watch all the videos. Number two, you got to keep on getting money. You got to keep on getting money. You get money here, you get money there. As I said to that viewer who got 18 months of Check B, go get more money. You're watching LALATE, the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America, launched in March of 2020 with this one channel. But within just days, it's expanding to 3 channels. Yes, 2 new channels are coming to this family. LALATE 2, on which you have a 24-hour-a-day show about your stimulus, and then tape shows with humor with Sirloin, Javita Light, and Blaine 66 back. Then on LA 3, the third new channel, you're going to have a 24/7 live show about the economy, your money, Wall Street, recession, inflation, housing, and all that incredible data. Plus, tape shows on your delicious cooking. Incredible cooking shows coming on that third channel. Meantime, have you seen the two new changes coming to this family in the last 2 days? Yes. First, LA Live. On this channel is now a 24-hour day, 7 days a week show. It's been a hit. It's absolutely a breaking blockbuster. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's on this channel. It's LA Live. And the relaunch of LALATE.com. The news site that started it all nearly 25 years ago has been repurposed with more coverage about your money. Jump on that site to learn about your money. Now, what do you need to do? For three things. First, go into this video, become a member, join this channel. Number two, subscribe. Go into this video, hit that subscribe button. Number three, there's a little bell where it says at the front of this channel, hit that bell so you have all notifications set all to on. And finally, join this channel. Become a member to get all this incredible wonderfulness. Join on this channel where it says Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. And then we're going to go over that LA newsletter starting right now. That LA newsletter is so wonderful. Delivered Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. Here's the YouTube alert. You go down in the alert till you find the wonderful guy with the surfboard. You passed him. And then it says View Post. Click the button, View Post. You go right into the newsletter. You are done, baby. Oh, so simple. It really is so simple. Get this incredible money right today. You are done. Want to see that again? That's the newsletter. There it is right there. How does this work? Let's go over the routine again. The LA newsletter is delivered Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern. So know your time zone. If you're neither the East Coast or the West Coast, know what time that is. If you're Central, it's 9. But know your time zone because it comes exactly on the money via the YouTube alerts, not the LALATE alerts, the YouTube member alerts. And this is what the alert looks like. If it's sent to you by email, there's the title for members only, new LA posts. There's the time, 7 o'clock. And there's the first line of text. LALATE newsletter with 4 mailboxes next to it. You go down on this alert. That's not the newsletter. That's the alert. Down on the alert. Pass the guy with the surfboard. Pass him to the very bottom where it says View Post. Click the button and it sends you right in to the incredible newsletter. This graphic has really helped. Since I launched this graphic about 7 days ago, I get almost no questions about the newsletter anymore. People understand this so simply because it is very simple. It's very, very simple when showing you that's the newsletter. You're ready to rock and roll. Two things I want to go over with your stimulus check starting right now. First, I want to go over check C's, and then I want to go over a common question I'm getting. First, check C's. When I say check B or check C, it's just being casual with the plural or the singular of the word check. Why? In the case of check B, it's not inherently just one check. You already saw this viewer. She got 18 months of checks B, but I call it check B. What is she getting? She's getting every month her mortgage and then all her utilities. So let's say she has 4 utilities. That's 5 checks per month at 18 months. Yeah, that's 90 to 100 stimulus check Bs she's getting because she became a member of the channel. That's the reality. So when I say check B, it's not just one check. She's getting 90 to 100 checks over that incredible duration. Let's look at check C. In the case of check C, it's much the same way. If you rent or you own, let's just call that rent. Let's call that one check rent. Whether you rent or own, let's vernacularly call it a rent. Then you have utilities. You have water, you have electric, you have something that has to heat the home. Let's call it either heating oil or natural gas. You have something. And then you probably have a telephone. You probably have with all that about 5 bills per month. Let's say 5, maybe 4, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 6, but let's say 5. Well, the newsletter has in there 12 places to get those 5 checks, six government agencies, and about 6 nonprofits. 6 times 5. No, I did that wrong. 12 times 5, because remember it was 6 and 6. 12 times 5 is 60 possible places to get checks per month. 60 possible checks per month. Incredible. And you see how people are getting checks for about 12 months. 12 times 60 checks possible per month. Folks, this is a lot of checks. So that is why you continue to want to do this. You want to keep on getting checks, and you want to keep on doing it. For anyone who says my city, my county, my town of lobster shorts. My town of lobster shorts is not doing a check. Yeah, because, lobster shorts have not really sold that well. So the town of lobster shorts is not really doing financially that well. They're not sending out that lobster short stimulus check. I don't cover lobster short stimulus checks on this channel. I cover federal news, national news on this channel. This is not the local mom and pop local station. So I'm sorry if the town of lobster shorts has not sent you out a check, and I will not be covering them. I actually don't even care to hear about them. So please understand that for the purposes of wherever you live, this money on a federal level is there. 60 possible checks per month. Go get them. That's just for checksy. Let's go to another thing that's brand new today. Yesterday, in actually two of the shows in the afternoon, there was a sort of collective response, maybe 3 in a row, 1, 2, 3, where people said, is there a check in my state? Is there a check in my state? Is there a check in my state? Folks, let's make this clear once and for all. Let's make this clear once and for all. I am not covering state stimulus checks. I'm not covering checks sent from your state. They're not coming from your state. They're not paid by your state. They're not state law. They're not from the state bank account. They're not sent from your governor. They're not coming from your state legislature. So when you say, is there a check in my state? It's not coming from your state. I'm covering federal stimulus. I'm covering from the federal government. When I say it's in every U.S. state, I'm basically saying it's everywhere. You want me to change the expression? I can say it's United States stimulus. I mean, that's all I can basically say to you. So for the people who keep on asking, is it in my state? Please stop it. That is not what we cover on this channel. This is not the state news channel. And it's not the People's State News Agency either. There you go. Let's go to something else that's really important hitting this week, and it is recession and also housing. Recession and also housing. That's why you have to get this incredible money. Go right in this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Get these incredible sums of money. You deserve them. Get them right now. Do not wait. Get these incredible sums of money. Remember, it's from the federal government. It is not from the state. And we're going to go over all that money tonight as well on evenings. Housing data is going to really hit hard this week, and that housing data is huge. Last week, we had housing data on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and it was major misses every single day. Miss, in this case, is basically that it was a drop in the numbers. Let's go over what happened on that housing numbers last week and what's likely to happen this week as well. This shows you recession. On July 18th, the National Association of Home Builders Wells Fargo Housing Market Index was released, and it showed that builder sentiment dropped 12 points to 55, the largest second largest drop in the 37-year history of the tracking tool. The last time it was bigger was a 42-point drop to 30 at the start of the pandemic. Major drop among confidence of home builders. That was on that Tuesday of July 18th. On Wednesday, we had the new housing starts, as new construction, and that fell 2% when it was expected to grow nearly 2%. Absolutely horrific across the board. Then on Friday, the June home sales for July 20th were released, and they fell 5.4% from the month of May, and this is not good. It's the lowest sales pace since 2020. It's clear due to the plunge in affordability since Lawrence June, chief economist for the realtors. We've never seen mortgage rates shoot up this fast in this magnitude. People are getting priced out. Robert Dietz, National Association's home builders chief economist, said, affordability is the greatest challenge. Significant segments of the home building populations are priced out of the market, and home builders need to pivot. People need to pivot when an economy is not doing well, and they're not pivoting. Let me tell you why. Number one, people, let's use the home builders. Home builders need to better price the homes to get them off the market and not leave them sitting on the market because mortgage applications have dropped to a 22-year low. You can't afford a mortgage anymore, and they're losing a lot of potential buyers. Number two, you got to remove that debt in that household, folks. If you have credit card debt, remove it. ARDs, adjustable rate debt, get rid of it. Credit card debts to car loans, fix it, switch it to fixed if you can. Number two, raise your savings by increasing all that incredible stimulus and reducing your costs. Federal Reserve is raising those interest rates tomorrow, and they're going to do it again in September. Your money is going to cost a lot more money to carry debt. And yet that report shows that the people traveling and paying those exorbitant traveling fees are running up credit card debt for their vacations. That's what most people do. They vacation, they keep on running the credit card when they're overseas over and over again, and then they get back home and they see the out of control credit card interest rate debt. Don't do it. You can't do it across the board. Finally, my commentary today. My commentary today goes back to cores of this economy and recession. A recession is defined by industry as 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. A recession is an economic term. It's an economic term that is defined by 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, meaning that over a 6-month period, you have 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, the gross national product. That number is released by the Department of Labor. Now, some people may say you don't feel the recession, you don't see the recession, as I said. Back in February of this year, I was the first financial broadcaster to report we're going into recession. No one dare say that at the time. It was not until April when Deutsche Bank was the first bank to say we're going to go into recession. And I said it's coming in January 2023. Well, it's already here. But you see what I've been saying since we first got that Atlanta Fed GDP Now numbers on about July 1. I said, while we're in a recession right now, the real hurt of the recession will not be felt until next year. So what happened this morning? Janet Yellen, your Treasury Secretary, of course, was originally one of the Fed heads, appeared on broadcast media and said we're not in a recession. She said that a recession is not necessarily 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. Let me go over more of what she basically said. She went after the definition of recession, say even if we have 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, that's not necessarily a recession. Folks, this is the problem with this administration, is that when things are good, they want to take credit for it. When it's not there, when they did not make it good, and when things are bad, they want to spin the bad news. A recession is a defined term. It's either a recession or not a recession. We all understand that the recession may not be broadly felt. We saw on last Friday, when I reported on this channel, recession was not occurring in the pharmaceutical companies. They posted massive earnings. They're not being hurt by the recession whatsoever. Then we saw the social media companies, Tesla, and we saw Twitter and Snap fall dramatically last Friday when the recession really hit them badly. 2 different industries, one not hurt by the recession, one hurt by the recession. That's how you do the analysis. You say there's a recession, but it's not broadly felt. What was the White House's narrative today from Janet Yellen? A recession is not defined that way. Of course it's defined that way. You're an economist, you're head of the Federal Reserve in a prior job, in a prior profession. You know what a recession is by definition. You can say we're not feeling the recession, but that's what's not good with this White House. And I can't imagine now into the second year that we're still running fake facts from this White House when it comes to economic numbers. A recession is either defined as a recession or not a recession. Now, it may not be broadly felt, that's fine to explain. It may not be broadly impacted, that's fine to say. But to simply say it's not a recession, you're basically throwing out the definition of recession that has been used by economists for decades. It's not good. This comes out the White House is talking about why gasoline prices are down. Again, they're not down because of anything the White House has done. Victory lap when it's not your victory? Yes. Blaming something on something else when it's actually your blame? Yeah. And then trying to change the definition of what's going on? Not a good look. Ultimately, what is as important for you? What's important for you is that you're going to get confused if the people that are supposed to be reporting to you what's going on with your money can't tell you the correct story. The comments from Janet Yellen continue with her saying that we have a strong labor market. I'm sorry. Strong labor market? I'm not buying it. I'm tired of this. I really am. I thought that we could stop this nonsense on saying it's a strong labor market and was 230,000 new jobless claims. That's a 250,000 new unemployed people per week. We came out of the pandemic at 181. We've gone from 181 to 230. I thought that was going to stop it. Well, it didn't. Then when it went to 240, some Wall Street analysts are still saying strong labor market. I said that's going to stop it. It didn't. Finally, last week, when it went to 251,000, Wall Street analysts stopped it. They started saying now it's no longer a strong labor market because 251 is the worst number we've seen since November of 2021. Wall Street no longer says a strong labor market. It's a 250,000 new unemployment claims per week. 251. Here's the graph. It's the highest number of 2022. What did Janet Yellen say? Strong labor market today. It is taking the facts and telling you something that's completely inaccurate. And what causes that to do to you is that you're going to be on the wrong side of the equation. For example, if you're an employee and you think it's a strong labor market, you will think that if you're laid off, you can go find another job. If you're an employer and you think it's a strong labor market, you will think that you will have problems finding labor and that there's a big demand for consumer purchases in your store. People who are fed incorrect information when it's economy are left on the wrong side of the equation when things turn negative. And here's what happens. If you're getting wrong economic data from the people who are supposed to give you correct economic data exactly when it comes on in, then guess what happens? You may be basing your decisions upon what you thought was the correct economic data when it was completely incorrect. It's not appropriate for this Treasury Secretary to tell us that the definition of a recession is not the definition of a recession. It's ridiculous. It really is. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous because people are basing their economic decisions based upon the people reporting the economic decision. And when was the last time we saw this? About 2 weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago, when the CPI number was released, guess what Joseph Biden said, the President of the United States? He said the Consumer Price Index number, the CPI, which is released by a nonpartisan agency, released by his department, released in the same way it's been released for Republican and Democratic presidents for decades and decades after decades. He said the CPI number is not a reliable number. The CPI is not a reliable number. This is not a recession. The labor market's strong. We're taking the numbers and we're continually telling you the numbers mean something other than what they say. If the CPI is not the CPI, if the labor is not the labor, if the recession is not the recession, then what is it? It was ironic that this is what we were talking about in the prior administration. When Democrats were saying the Republicans were giving you fake facts, we were talking about Mitch McConnell in 2020, where he said the economy is in great state when we were in the middle of the pandemic. We weren't. When Kevin Brady says that people need to get back to work, they're just not working, they're lazy, they had no jobs, they couldn't get back to work, there was no jobs. That was going on for Republicans. Now we have Democrats taking data and basically saying the data is not reliable. It's the same data we've used in this country for 100 years. The CPI, we now can say the housing data, we now can say every single data point that's released every single day is not reliable. The president's comment was the CPI is not reliable because it's a delayed number. Well, all numbers are delayed. And sometimes when you hear the comment, you understand that it's just ridiculous. But today, when Janet Yellen said it, it was slightly believable. And that's what makes it worry for me. Ultimately, this is why you need LALATE. LALATE has been true to form across the board, nonpartisan, focusing on your money, focusing on your financial stability, focusing on you being ahead of the ball, not behind the ball. You have to be ahead on the game, whether it is inflation, recession, stimulus, your benefits checks, housing, labor. You have to be ahead of it across the board. That's why my projections have always been accurate on this channel. That is why I always give you a leadway of weeks, months ahead of the news, so you pivot accordingly. Become a member. Go right in this video and become a member to the channel that's changing American financial broadcasting with truth to form on a daily basis. If it's inaccurate, I'll report report to you it's inaccurate. If it's delayed, I'll tell you it's delayed. But if it's the CPI released by the federal government, if it's the Department of Labor number, if it's the housing data, I'll tell you what it is, and I'll also tell you what it means and what it doesn't mean. That's why you're here, and that's why you want to stay with LA for more. Go into this video and become a member. I'll see you tonight on Evenings LA from the shores of Scanamaca, California. I love you to death. See ya on evenings at 5 o'clock.